when you look at this game and then you look at the Big 12 holistically, right now, who would you say the best team in the Big 12 is? And who would you say the worst team in the Big 12 is?
Well, I was just about to say, we spent all this time harping on Oklahoma, but we didn't even really talk about Texas. Like, Texas looks pretty dang good. I told you last week during our picks video that now was the time to buy stock low on Texas. Anything in the futures market, 4-1 odds or higher for Texas to win the Big 12, I would have jumped on last week. And that's gone now because Texas, in my opinion, I think is the best team in the Big 12 now with Quinn Ewers at quarterback. And I think it's still close. I still think TCU, possibly Oklahoma State, maybe Kansas State, I think are the next best teams behind them in the Big 12. But I would give the edge to Texas right now. I always like to say whenever things look bad, it's not as bad as it actually is. And when things look really good, it's not as really good as it seems to be. Texas looked really good against Oklahoma, but let's not forget they were running the Wildcat with a QB that couldn't complete a forward pass to save his life.
And everyone that's played Oklahoma in conference play has looked really good against Oklahoma.
Right. And I watched Quinn Ewers. Like, it's undeniable. The guy's got such good arm talent. He's got such a quick and easy release. He just looks so clean just playing quarterback. But
it's amazing, man. He just flicks it and it's just like
it's crazy. It's not like this OU defense is anything that's stout. Like, Quinn Ewers still hasn't faced a really good defense outside of that one quarter we saw him against Alabama. So I'm not saying that Quinn Ewers potentially is like a fraud or anything like that, but I'm just saying there is a little bit of a sample size here. We don't want to get burned like we got burned with Anthony Richardson. So we'll see, but I would give the edge to Texas right now. And I would say probably TCU would be my next top team in the Big 12. Their offense just really impresses me, but it's going to be close. Kansas State, that defense, Oklahoma State in the mix too. It's going to be very interesting. That's a very good question right now.
Well, Shoob, before you dive into who your worst team in the Big 12 is, I'm going to go ahead and chime here on who I think the best team is. And I'm in agreement with you. I think it's Texas. And I think it is Texas and then TCU. And then I guess we'll see. This TCU Oklahoma State game will be very indicative of who that second team is. But as of right now, it's Texas and TCU. And Texas, I think, will win the Big 12 at this rate. Their offense is unstoppable. Their defense has improved. And we're starting to see some of that star talent really arrive and play to what is expected to be. You look at their efficiency numbers, Texas is top 5. Very, very tough to beat. And they're power rated top 10. And a lot of people on social media are saying, well, what, Texas has 2 losses. Where are the power rated top 10? Just watch the Texas Longhorns. Just watch them. Look at the statistics. Exactly. That's not how it works. Watch the Texas Longhorns. They are a very good football team when Quinn Ewers is in the game. He is a dynamic game changer. He'll probably be, next year, it's going to be him and Caleb Williams going in those top slots. So it'll be really interesting to see. And then you got Ark Manning to worry about after that. And you got to hope that if you're a Texas fan, you got to hope that he's the next coming of Quinn Ewers. Because let me say next coming lightly, because I'm not going to praise the man like he's Jesus. But the man is looking like everything that he was built out to be. And for the first time in a long time, I actually feel like Texas might be back, or at least while Ewers is here. Texas might be back while Ewers is here. And I really think Texas has a very, very good chance of winning the Big 12 this year and next year. So we'll see. The window is closing on some of these other Big 12 teams to beat Texas before they leave, if they haven't done it so recently. So that's where I'm leaning there. Now, Shoob, what is your worst team in the Big 12? Who do you think is the worst team?
You can kind of throw a bunch of teams in the hat here. Obviously, the answer is, well, it depends. With Bevel at quarterback, it's Oklahoma. But with Gabriel, obviously,
Gabriel's going to come back. So
I know. I was joking there. I had to throw that in there. But
Bevel is the starter with you. They absolutely are. They can't score.
Yeah. But no, in all seriousness, you can make arguments either way, and I think anybody will get upset if you say their team. But I know a lot of people say Iowa State.
Just give a take, man. Yeah.
A lot of people say Iowa State. I think it's West Virginia. I don't know. Everyone seems to forget about them. I think they are the slightly worst team in the Big 12, but it's like, you're not. If you're the worst team in the Big 12, you're middle of the pack or not the worst team in most other Power 5 conferences.
And you're still capable of beating a lot of teams in the Big 12 as well. Maybe not some of the upper echelon teams, but definitely those middle tier teams you're capable of beating on any given day. And you know what? I'm with you, Shoob. It's going to be Iowa State or West Virginia. It's kind of a 1A, 1B situation. Right now, I would say it's Iowa State just because their offense is not very competent right now. They rely too much on Jarrell Brock. They're still coming into their, Hunter Deckers. And their whole offense is just trying to get it figured out right now. They got a lot of youth on offense, aside from Xavier Hutchinson. So there's a lot that they're really trying to piece together.
Yeah, top 25 defense, though.
But their defense is nice. But that's why, I think it's a bad matchup for them against Texas for that reason. I don't think their offense is going to be on the field very much, and that's going to really wear down their defense. But we'll see how that goes. But and then West Virginia is more a little bit better on offense, but their defense isn't what it was last year. So you can flip a coin on those two, Shoob, but those two I think are going to be finishing at the bottom, and I'd be shocked if they weren't finishing at 9th and 10th.
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech looks pretty solid, man, and they seem to be improving every week. I really like Joey McGuire. Joey McGuire, man, I've watched some of his speeches to his players and all these other things, and I can understand why people are rallying around the guy. I can understand why he can recruit. He can relate to these players. He can motivate these players. I was just watching his videos, and I was thinking, man, I would run through a wall for this guy if I was on his team. This dude is passionate about the sport. This dude is passionate about uplifting Tech into a national power. He is truly the guy for the job. Tech hit a home run with that hire, and I think given this recruiting class they have coming in, they are in a special place right now, especially if they can continue to replicate that. Oh boy, Red Raiders got a bright future. They are going to position themselves really well in this new Big 12, and they got to hope that Joey McGuire doesn't get poached.
Mountaineer Nation, let's ride. Mountaineer Nation, let's ride. Mountaineer Nation, let's ride.